Hello everybody and welcome to another Community Fortress. This one was sent in on the Discord by Kano B5. This is the Fortress of Archmaze. If you yourself would like to send in a fortress for me to have a peek at on this show, you can do that via my Discord. Simply join the Discord, link is down in the description, and then in the DF save sharing room, you can send in your fortress, either upload it directly in a zipped folder, or alternatively to something like the Dwarf Fortress.file depot or Google Drive, whatever works for you. This particular fortress is a member of the Ores of Ruin and the Salves of Stasis, and is largely encased in lava, and it gives a really kind of cool effect. I built a similar thing to this ages ago, except it was in a glacier and encased in water. So we're gonna dive in and take a real quick peek. So this fortress starts off with a skull on top, which definitely appeals to my inner skeleton. As you probably have one as well, you may notice that we all have a skeleton inside of us, so it is always glorious to see our kind in the wild. Now, if we move down a few layers, we can kind of see the entryway. There's this heavily walled off waterfall that is actually sealed and completely redirected down there, but we'll worry about that in a second. It goes all the way down into this trench, and then the waterfall would classically go off the side. I actually really like this curve in the waterfall. I think it's really pretty. But up on the surface, we have multiple different directions where they very clearly have redirected it in the past. And I'm wondering, like, actually, if they could fill this out in the comment section or alternatively on the Discord. Did you wait for it to freeze or did you have some sort of pumping solution? Regardless, it's always nice to see fully redirected streams. Then down around here, there's plenty of vomit and blood on the ground. It seems to be various different dwarves and other characters' blood. Many happy dwarves in this fort. This is a very happy fortress. I gotta point out, I actually haven't seen the ++ number under a particular one in any of my forts. And if I look at this, we can see basically everybody here is absolutely ecstatic with their lives and very happy. If we move down into the entryway here, we can see that it kind of goes down along the ways. You can see the water following down there. We'll follow that on another way up and down. We can move down, and it moves through some areas that have been dug out pretty heavily. But it just kind of keeps going until we get down to this layer, where the military is training here. And then over here, it kind of goes down a little further. And then it goes down a little further, and it kind of goes through this little entry walkway up over here. And then back over here on this side into this long, what I assume to be a combat hallway. Now, the kind of neat thing about it is it's got these little ballistas at the end, and I guess they walk around this corner, and it appears that inside of these cages are some experiments, which is always exciting. And then there's, just this pit of lava at the end because you shall not pass. And if you try, well, good luck to you. And then over here, there's lava being pumped up and up and up. And, well, it just kind of goes up to here, and as you can see, there's a whole lot of it right there, and then there's this little steel bridge right here, so this little area just gets flooded with lava when things attack it. And then there's these little steel bridges that retract down here that then drain the lava down and off the map, I would assume. It seems to kind of go down this way, yep, and then off the top right there. So neat little defensive structure. I'm a big fan of using lava as defense personally, but if you make it around this, then you can go down this way and into the main entryway, which is, of course, where the military trains right here, because this here is a little barracks. You can actually see the squads here training around their shale and mudstone places for training. They are equipped with steel, quite well appointed, and then we have these marble block downward walkways as well as the ramp. So I think we're going to follow the walkway, which goes down a ways. It kind of looks like this used to be a barracks and just isn't anymore. But the ramp kind of goes up the top here, and this sideways way just kind of goes down, and there's all sorts of lava piping down here, which is of course cool to see. And then the main rampway kind of goes up here to an area where you can trade, and then we get to the more main fortress. So the lava out of these pumps is being distributed into these big old pillars here, and the water keeps going down on that side. There's a stairway that kind of goes up over here, and also more drainage for the lava if and when it's needed. I think they're actually using doors. No, they're not connected to anything, but there are doors here which they use to dig these out and then seal. But down here is a drainage spot for all of that, which can just drain off the side of the map. This goes up to the defensive structure right there, and then over on the side here, we can follow the fortress down. So this staircase ends here, and then there's one on either side. And then we begin this kind of really cool area. There's a little dwarf who lives up here with their child. They are a blacksmith. This is a little dining hall with some levers for various vault access. And then if we go down a little ways, there is this kind of lower area. And then as we continue to go down, it just gets kind of cooler looking. So we got a few, like a barracks zone. Down here, we've got, that dining hall I pointed out. Then down here, we've got, just some nice bedrooms, as well as the kind of stairways on either side. And then we got this lovely pixel art down here and various other color experiments. It seems like a very large tomb for the queen, which is massive. And then some kind of unused rooms. It seems like there's lots of planned spaces in this fortress. And then as we go a little further down, there's this whole area down here and all these areas that have been dug out. We got some more bedrooms up here and some offices, as well as some guild halls down there. We can move down a little further. There's a giant mushroom because somebody worships Mario as a god, apparently. And then some unused spaces and what I assume to be a garbage dump. Lots and lots of unused materials around, which I would normally criticize, but I mean, somebody commented on one of my previous videos where I was talking about large stockpiles. Yes, having large stockpiles with items in them removes them from physics and removes them from temperature, so they're not being tracked as heavily. But if you queue up a lot of jobs all at once and all the dwarves run to different stockpiles, that's what can cause some lag, and it certainly does. A little bit lower here, we have some wood, as well as workshops that use them. And then we get to the cavern layers, and it just kind of keeps going. We eventually run into this lovely tomb layer with all of these assigned tombs to different dwarves. I just love looking at these patterns in the center, of course. Then we have bowyers and jeweler shops in the middle. And then the water, which has been spilling down on this side over here, finally comes in and connects to the main fortress here. And then up here is a very, very, very large hospital, which has individual rooms for everybody, as well as a whole bunch of like grizzly bears in the middle. Down here we have temples, and this is why everybody's so happy, is we have this water spilling through here. And also encasing this stairway now, which is cool. And then we have all this these fountains down here, and they just go and cover everything. So all these bedrooms, every time you go to bed, you walk through the fountain, and that's what's keeping everybody so happy. A friend of mine, Tekket, has been pretty adamant that you do not need these to keep dwarves happy, but damn, do they help. And then as we continue to go down, there's more projects over here on the right and more other empty spaces that have been dug out. But this kind of tube design for this fortress, which is really cool, just kind of continues. And we got a lava pump here, which is pumping lava out of we'll hit it eventually. But my God, first off, I love the way this cavern is built. This is a huge open cavern, some of my favorite cavern designs, and just the way it's like, it's so compact and patterned. Everything about this fort's so cool, and the water is just like so neatly distributed. Very, very, very well done, Kano. Then up here we have more spaces, another large office and bedroom. And then as we get a little lower, we got some more bedrooms and some more offices and another barracks right there with a chained up bear. And then we have power down here, which is a really cool design. The water spills down on either side, and then it flows around and then down, and then it flows around and then down. Also, Fortress runs quite well, all things considered, considering you got 205 dwarves here. It was running about 30 pretty consistently when I was running it, which is better than my most recent Fortress of Sizzletongs, which was way lower than that. Then down here, we have another worker zone, and we got a little bit of a surprise at the end of this whole fortress once we get to the bottom. We have forges down here, which are powered by lava, of course, and this area is a little confusing to the point where I kind of want to turn on ASCII to see what it looks like. Yeah, a bit of a mess, but man, it looks so cool. We've got our just our dungeon set up, and as well as the captain of the guard spaces. And man, if you are a naughty dwarf, this is not a good fortress to live in, let me tell you. And then down here, a little lower, because we got levers attached to open up these floodgates to flood the different prisons, and then built-in drainage, which is crazy. And then down a little lower, we have this bridge kind of going off this way to drain even more lava if need, and then planning for the rest of the fortress. Of course, the lava itself is beast entrapments down. I didn't even make it this far down the first time. Beast entrapments here, which is right underneath all of the lava down here. I love all the planning stuff. It's like, wow, it's not even finished. Over here on the right, this goes all the way down to the lava sea. Down in the lava sea itself, we got another barracks and then a space that goes even further down, which digs down into this funky place encrusted with gems. So suspicious, right? And then all of these other kind of interesting ways, which I guess they sealed off something down here. That much is known. And then we can go all the way down to the bottom to see they haven't actually cracked the underworld yet, but man, they're close. And then there's a bunch more spaces over here that they're mining out. So one final thing that I would really like to shout out about this fortress is it has something built in that I've done maybe once, but would always like to try another time. There are these two levers, self-destruct trigger and self-destruct prime. So from what I can tell, self-destruct primes self-destruct, and then self-destruct trigger turns it on. Now, I don't know if they have a specific zone for this, but we do have this one turned on, which seems to be the middle section. I'm going to see if I can just set everybody to this central room right here and then pull these self-destruct levers because I am just so curious. So we're gonna give this a second, and then we're going to watch this fortress fall over. So as all of these dwarves are kind of coming up and into this central area, we get to see the space fill up, and then I'm going to just queue up self-destruct prime. I'm gonna click pull lever, and we're just going to see kind of what happens here because I'm very curious. Very, very curious, you could say. So now that it appears that everybody is slowly entering into this area, we can see who actually is queued up to pull this self-destruct prime. Okay, well, so far, it's happening that, the self-destruct prime has begun and pathing has been blocked. A couple dwarves have caught fire. It's off to a good start so far, I think. Now we're going to trigger self-destruct. Just because I would like to know what will happen exactly. So I'm assuming these bridges are going to pull back and everything will burn, ideally. We got the prime done, and now the self-destruct has been pulled. And, okay, there it goes. So it seems to just, like, dump lava down both sides. So the whole fortress is going to, quite figuratively and literally, self-destruct. Frame rate is understandably tanking, and we get to see the lava spread. So it's spreading out on this layer. The dwarves are panicking. I'm going to open up the burrows screen again, if it lets me. Whoop, there we go. And I'm just going to remove all three of these burrows just so that there isn't any issues with the dwarves pathing and they can just go wherever they need to, because otherwise we're going to have single-digit frames. And hopefully it'll speed up a little bit, but it might just not. As we scroll down a little bit, let's see where it's going. It seems to be dumping down the stairs on either side primarily, and probably just going down. I wonder if there's a place where it's actually over there. It's filled already. Okay, so it's running down this side mostly, and then. Is it gonna flood off the edge? Okay, so it appears that it is flooding off the edge. I'm curious if it's gonna flood the actual fortress itself, or if it's just gonna kind of go in on both sides. Yeah, it seems to be definitely filling. So at least over here so far. If we move up, are there any layers where it's spreading? That's a curious thought. There's definitely fire over here, stuff burning. The number of dwarves has gone down. I appear to have caused some catastrophic death at the very least. Just peering around. I'm just curious about how total of a self-destruction this is going to end up being as the frames slowly recover due to dwarves just being absurdly upset. So the lava seems to be spreading into this area. And I guess this is kind of where it causes the mayhem over here. I'm a little bit surprised that it's going to drain on that side. Over here, it's going to fill up pretty quick. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this footage and I'm going to speed it up a little bit. And I will check back with you in a moment. So to lift up the veil a little bit on this, I have been recording now for about 35 minutes, and it is still filling. So at risk of running out of hard drive space, I think I'm going to say that this is a pretty effective self-destruct sequence. My one concern, however, is I think the thing I would do first, if I actually knew how this fortress was run, is I would have locked the waterfalls first. Otherwise, it's going to just obsidian some of those spots and probably not fully flood everything. However, I gotta say, at the very least, this surface layer is very satisfying. If you would like to run the full self-destruct sequence on yourself, if you have more free time than I do, you can go to my Discord server and scroll up a little bit in the DF save sharing room and find Kano's post where they link this fortress, and then you yourself can completely burn Archmaze. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you would like to see more videos like it or more fortresses that have been shared in my community, you can find that over on my Discord. Link is in the description. If you would like to support this here video directly, you can do that via my Patreon, or if you want, you can check out my merch store where I have some t-shirts available. I'm going camping this weekend, and this is the last video I'm recording before I leave, so I just wanted to say, if you do pick up merch this weekend, I do send out thank you videos to people, so you might get one of me in a tent or something is equally silly. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you self-destruct in the next one. Or maybe don't.